Welcome back, everyone. Today's video will be sharing the most important lessons. I'm going to be answering lots of questions that I've been asked before. What's the entry strategy? What's the exit strategy? How do I play with DeFi? How do I play with crypto? How can I win inside crypto? Well, let me begin. When we cover projects, first of all, when we say high risk, what does high risk mean in here? When we review the project, we usually like to see an audited project. So if there's no audit, that's a red flag. Then we check the team and founders. If we don't know who they are, that's another red flag. If these two red flags are there, then this is high risk. And what does the high risk here really means? Means the second you put your money, 2 seconds later, it can be wiped out. That's how serious it is. And that's why we call it high risk. So when we say that about any DeFi project or any crypto project, and we say high risk, that means you make sure that you invest with caution because your money seriously can be wiped out. So these two are really important when it comes to everything else inside crypto. So if it's high risk, we already know that. Then we mentioned something called volatile. And we tell you everything inside crypto and DeFi and NFTs are volatile. And where's the volatility come from? Well, first of all, manipulation. We have something called whales that own billions of dollars. When they come in or get attracted to a project, they come and manipulate. So they buy a huge amount of that crypto or DeFi and they pump it up, they create that FOMO, and guess what? They take that trigger and sell and dump the whole thing. And poor people like you and me will get wrecked. Why? Because we did not take profits. So that's one volatility. And by the way, there is another volatility, which is groups. Now, I have seen groups inside social medias that they get together and they plan to manipulate coins, projects. They decide you will have a group of 50 to 500,000 to 1 million inside one group, and they manipulate the market. They go decide, for example, let's go buy helium tomorrow or today at 4 p.m. and we sell it tomorrow at 5 p.m. If there are 500,000 of them and they're all buy at $100, $1,000, that's $50 million. So they can create some pump and dump. So that's another manipulation. Also another manipulation that I've seen, which is creating FUDs. And this is by getting engaged in so many projects, I've noticed that's happening. So let me give you an example. So there's one project that the founders and developers said, we will list our project in CoinMarketCap at 7 p.m. So what they do, they wait at 7 p.m. It's not there, didn't get listed. They go and sell their tokens. What they do next is they go to the Discord and they're like, you know what? This is a scam. It was not listed on CoinMarketCap. They created that FUD. People they don't know what's going on. All they hear is scam, scam, scam. They go and try to dump their project as soon as possible or sell it for as cheap as possible. And that's what happens. Guess what? They manipulated the market. And when it went down all the way to 70-80%, they bought again at that price. So this all is volatility. Also, another volatile thing that you should consider, government regulations. When that comes, we don't know how it's going to look like. Is it going to impact negatively on the project or positively or zero impact? We don't know. These are assumptions that everyone is speculating right now. We don't know if the government is going to come along or come against. Are they going to ride with us or are they going to ride against us? So all of this has to be considered. So when I put all of this together and explain to you now what's going on, I'm not here to create fear. I know I'm telling you that these assumptions should be considered by you. Now, do I think Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these great projects are going to go away? I highly doubt. There's no reason why it should be. It will be impacted for sure. We don't know if the whales and governments are going to work together to play and dump this Bitcoin to 10,000 so they can buy it for cheap. Maybe. That's a scenario that some people are putting. So all of this together should make you always buy and sell with the right mindset. of protecting your investments. Now, Bitcoin in the long run is not going anywhere. It will have pumps, dumps, it will have hiccups. All of these projects will have hiccups. DeFi, on the other hand, is very volatile. And we've seen projects that get scammed, that get rug pulled. I mean, we had a bloody week last week. So when you go in, you have to buy in low and sell high. And this is something one of the subscribers I was talking to, I was telling him skim profits. He said, I don't know when to sell. And let me tell you how to, first of all, how to get in before you sell. So if you are like Bitcoin, let's take Bitcoin as a general example because most people know what the price is of Bitcoin. So if you are watching a video or reading a Reddit and you're saying, hey, Bitcoin is going to the moon, and you're like, you know what? Let me go buy some Bitcoin. You open the chart. You see the chart that the all-time high of Bitcoin is at $67,000. And at the time you're planning to buy it, you look at it, it's just like 67,000. And you're like, I should buy it because it's going to do 4x. No, I would not recommend doing that. You can do whatever you want. This is not a financial advice. But every single project we know inside crypto, it always pumps and it takes a breather and relaxes. So if you go in and buying Bitcoin at 67,000, it's all-time high, I would not recommend that. I would wait for it to take a dip, take a little breather, just let it relax at 57, 47, 46. And the way to buy it is you keep buying it. So you have $10,000, for example. It went from 67 to 60. You're like, you know what? I'll buy it worth 1,000 from the 10,000. And then goes to 55, buy another 1,000. It goes to 52, buy another 1,000. Goes to 50, 1,000. 47, 1,000. 43, oh no, that's too tempting. You buy with the rest of your money. That's how you do. The same thing with DeFi. People that just go buy Olympus Dow now because it's all-time low, maybe that's a good strategy. But the project has been for a long time, so maybe you should look for something else. The only good thing about Olympus Dow, it's audited. So there's an audit, and we don't know the founders, but it's audit. So when the audit is done, they know who's behind this project. So that's how you enter a project. You just go in and DCA throughout the dip. Don't buy at 67. When you go to Wonderland, don't buy it at 10,000 or 11,000. And then it takes a breather, buy the dip. What do you do next? So you got 67,000 or you bought it at 47 Bitcoin. And now it went up to 60,000. You can take 10%, 20%, 30%. It is your own strategy. You will never win the bottom low and sell the all-time high at one shot. It will be impossible. You'll be one of the luckiest people in the world to do that. So it won't happen. All you have to do is DCA throughout the dip when you're buying, and when you're selling, you sell DCAing as well. So you sell at 60, then it goes to 62, you sell at 62, then you sell at 65 and sell at 67. If it goes back to 55, you buy more and you buy and sell. Now, some people will say, hey, with Bitcoin is a deflationary token, I'm going to keep it for a long run. You can do that as well. Now, this is not something you can do with DeFi. DeFi is an inflationary tokens, most of them. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Helium, what else is there? Terra, Luna, Cardano, they all have burning mechanisms. That means they will be deflationary by time. So even if you kind of guy that you don't want to sell and buy and DCA, wait for the good price to entry point, then you can buy those coins that I told you about, and you can leave them there for 2, 3 years, 5 years. That's a good option. Now, if you want to go to DeFi, you need to learn the entry strategy and the exit strategy. So if you're going to a high-risk, volatile project in DeFi, the first thing you do, hey, can be rug pulled. You know how serious this sounds? You know how ugly it feels? So if you have not done this before, go put in $5. Learn how to make that 5, and when it says $15, you say, you know what, I'm taking my initial investment. Take your $5 first, and then let that $10 sit. If it makes you $20, you know what, I'll take $10. Learn it, because it's really hard for you to watch a YouTube video and learn how to do this. The only way is to get your hands into the mud and do it yourself and get your brain to get used to this, because you'll always be greedy. Once you start playing with that calculator inside these DeFis, it drains your brain. I'm serious here. Don't play with that calculator. You're not going to be a billionaire from $1,000 investment. It's impossible. So you have to be realistic. I can make 2x, 3x, 5x, 6x, 7x, whatever. That's fine. What's wrong with 5x? What's wrong with 3x? We have to be realistic. And you have to skim. You will never sell at all-time high because, like I said, the volatility from the fudders, from manipulation of whales, from manipulation of the market, from all of this can cause and crash all of your projects and investments. So you have to be careful here. And no project inside DeFi will make you billionaire. That's a fact. It can make you some money. Now, I like Wonderland because it's steady, it's small, it's going slowly, but it is getting those rebases and compounding effect. Now, should you buy now, Wonderland? I don't know. You have to look at the price. It dipped all the way to 2,900, so maybe wait for the dip to 2,900. Will it come back again? I don't know that. So if it keeps dropping, you keep buying till you hit the 2,900. Now, why is this big drop in Wonderland? Well, we have to look at the amount of money that was locked inside Wonderland. People were sitting there, they make 2x every 38 days or 36 days, and then they look at these new pops, DeFi projects that pop every day, and they're like, you know what? Let me take some of my money in Wonderland, go play around with this DeFi for 4 or 5 days. I make 2, 3x, and take it back, go into another DAO, invest there, go into another DAO, invest there, play around, till everything is wrecked. They pull everything out and they go back to Wonderland. And that's why it went from 2,900 all the way to 4,500. Why? Because all the money that was invested in these DAOs were sent back. Some didn't go back because if it all went back, it would pump the price to 8,000 or 9,000. But that's how the floating of the money is. So if there's a bull cycle inside the Bitcoin and altcoins, what's going to happen? People will take their money from all the DAOs, maybe most of them, and will tell you what, you know what, there was some bullish news from the governments or whatever that the US is adopting Bitcoin or somebody is adopting Bitcoin. So this news will make people to rush, take their money and go invest it in Bitcoin. Why? They want to make some quick gains because they know they can do 2x, 3x. Let's say one of the games is launching. And so what people do, they take that money and go invest it. So they're all about news. They go and invest in the news, invest in these projects, and guess what? They make quick gains and they come back either to Bitcoin, to Wonderland, to Olympus DAO, I don't know. So this can happen. So if the bull cycle happens, I think DAOs will be impacted big time. If you want to buy time at that, when that happens, I'm sure it's going to be at a really good price. Also, is Wonderland safe to? It is a DeFi inside crypto. So there is some risk that comes to it. There's some FUD that can be created. There's some volatility that can happen. Manipulation can happen. Any project inside crypto is volatile and it has some kind of risk. The only thing, it's not audited like Olympus DAO, but the founder is known. So that's another advantage. And we've seen how he handled the popsicle scam or hack, and people loved him for that. So the whole point here is you look at your investment and be careful what you invest. Don't go to DeFi and you have not traded or never sold or don't know how to get an entry and exit strategy. If you have not done this, I don't recommend DeFi to anyone. DeFi is for people that have entry and exit strategy. If you want to learn it, sure, go put $5 and play with it till you pick it up and you make your brain digest that action. Like, I'm gonna sell, I'm not gonna get greedy, I'm not gonna wait for 20,000x. I'm gonna sell at 2-3x, take some gains, pick it up. We need to do this and be responsible with our money. Anyways, guys, I think I've covered enough about this. I hope that you understand my point of view, and I hope that you guys stay away from DeFi if you don't have an exit or entry strategy. And if you have any questions or anything of that kind, please submit or write them in the comment. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Wish you all a happy new year and happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care and ciao.